because there's only 5 numbers in any income statement. I don't care how complex the financials. I've read several of Warren Buffett's books and how he buys businesses, and the fact is it boils down to 2 things: their income statement and their balance sheet. We're not going to get into the balance sheet and a lot of that stuff today, but one of the things that you want to do, so many business owners don't pay attention to their numbers, and a lot of people in the inner circle have really benefited from paying attention to those. Jason told you yesterday that my visit with him was worth $380,000, and that's for sure. That's for real, because we started looking at the numbers. I have the same challenge everybody else does, or most people, I should say. I think there's probably some people in the room that love the numbers. I'm so grateful. I thank God that I have Scott Zach, because he loves those numbers, man. I mean, he is on those numbers. So this is your income statement, and before I get into what each one of these things are, if you'll remember from Making a Difference, and you'll remember from Get Fit, that this right here funds the dream. If you don't have this, you don't have a dream. Your dream's going nowhere if you don't have this. How many of you would agree that your dream, your personal life, your wheel includes maybe a little bit more money? Now, in order to get this, you've got to have this. So the number one thing that you need to start tracking today is your sales goals. How many of you saw how we track our sales goals very simply on a whiteboard every day in our office yesterday? Every single day. Now, having SoftServe makes it a lot easier because it just automatically, again, that's a system. The guy has to input it on the job. There's no other way to do it. You've got to close that job. And the money's there. It automatically uploads into the system, so I know what our sales are throughout the day, every day. I can pull out my phone or my iPad or my computer right now and tell you exactly how much we did yesterday. Right now. Now, are they going to go through those tickets and make sure that everything's correct and, you know, what's the add-on sale and all that? Yes, that's what Mary Ann does. She's our clerk, and she does that. She's one of our clerks and does that. All right, so your sales goal and the importance of understanding your numbers is to understand what that has to be, because if you don't have any idea what your sales goal is, you're not going to get your net. You don't get your net, you don't get your dream. And so we got to have that sales goal, and the way that we get there is to begin to understand our numbers. And we first got to understand our fixed expense. That's the overhead. That is the expenses that don't change dramatically with swings in revenue. You're going to have your truck payment. You're going to have your phone bill. You're going to have your rent. You're going to have your administrative salaries, whether you do $1 or $1 million a year. Make sense? So that's fixed expense. Your cost of goods sold, those are the expenses that are directly related to producing the job. What would that be? Technician labor, materials, supplies. I work with a lot of financial consultants over the years, and they put different things up here and different things down there, but however you track it, I mean, you can just simply, labor is the biggest one, direct labor. And so what we mean by direct labor, technician labor, people who are just doing the work. Does that make sense? So you take your sales less your cost of goods sold. Let's say that you sell, where's Jerry? So Jerry Prunetta, he's got his mechanics, auto repair. They've got oil that they have to buy. They have expenses like that. That's going to all be in the cost of goods sold. All right? The reason that this is so important is because one of the big mistakes that I've made, and one of the mistakes that I've seen with people who have grown their business and gotten off the truck and added employees and expanded, is they didn't realize how much their overhead was going up, and especially when credit's involved. We had 3 owners, and we all wanted our salary, we want to get paid, and the debt was building up, and it was pretty scary. It really was. And you don't want to do that. That will kill everything. That'll kill relationships, that'll kill the dream, that'll kill everything. Debt is not good. Your business exists for one reason only, that is to help you achieve your life goals, profit, funds, the dream. And a business without a profit is just a hobby. So the cost of goods sold, those are the expenses that swing or vary with swings in revenue, direct labor and materials for now. Again, benefits, gasoline, whoever your financial consultant is, they'll tell you where they want it. But the thing is that however you're going to track it, you want to compare the same line items, compare apples to apples. So when you're comparing a period, you got to compare the same line items. Then fixed expenses, these are the ones that are the same no matter how much the sales are, administrative salaries, owner salaries, you can put those in there or put in the net for planning's sake. And then the thing is when you start doing your budgets and looking at your financials, one of the things that skews the report is when you do have debt, interest, and depreciation, those kinds of things. So what I recommend that you do, your profit and loss doesn't have really, well, it has a lot to do with your actual cash, but it's not going to be the same as your cash in and cash out. So what I recommend that you do is create a 12-month budget that is based on money in and money out. A lot of you guys have maybe big receivables and restoration and all those kinds of things. So you got to understand and learn how to look at all that stuff. But you're going to set your sales goals. Our sales goal this year is $3 million a year, and that's $57,692 a week, $96.15 per day. And break that down by the day, break it down by the category, track it daily. How much have you done for the month? How many working days are left? You guys saw this on the board yesterday. And you keep adjusting that daily goal every single day. And so every day, the new daily goal is different based on how much you've done.